You're tuned in to the Foxboro BeatCast, a podcast for Patriots fans by Patriots fans. And here are your hosts, is Kaleb McChesney and Ryan Moore.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Foxboro BeatCast. I am your host, Kaleb McChesney. Alongside me, back again after another week off because I had my computer issues and I couldn't get these guys in a day later. As usual, my co-host Ryan. Ryan, how are you on this beautiful Tuesday, December afternoon where it is pissing rain and cold in New England?
Same here in Ohio, man. I'm doing pretty well, honestly, man. Celebrated my 24th birthday over the weekend. Had a lot of fun. It was fun having a nice week off from the Patriots. Try not to fuck up my week. So it's all good here, man.
For sure. Good. And back again for the yearly bye-week podcast where we take a look at the offseason ahead. Was meant for last week, like I said. So now Ken's going to be here to preview a game with us as well. We have Ken, football guy, Miles. Ken, if you want to reintroduce yourself to the fine people at home, let them know who you are, what you're all about, what you do here, what's your specialty, and we'll go from there. So, floor is yours for the next 20 seconds.
Again, happy birthday to Ryan.
Thank you,
for calling. And yeah, I'm just here to talk some football. As always, I love football. Love the draft. I'm here I do all the scouting for the chat. So let's get it going.
It's true. I wouldn't know a single college player if it wasn't for Ken, truly. All right. So all that in mind, we're going to save the offseason talk for the second block. We're going to get the boring stuff over with and talk about this Patriots Cardinals game, if you guys don't mind. So Patriots coming off the bye week. They're well rested. They're ready to go. They've had some time to self-scout, self-reflect. And yeah, they go into Arizona, their second West trip of the year. Don't ask me why we didn't get this back-to-back. We had to San Francisco like week 4 or week 5. And now week 14, we're flying out west again to the State Farm Stadium in Phoenix. But yeah, let's just try to cover all the bases here. The Cardinals are on a 2-game skid. Their playoff hopes are near death. Obviously, we are officially eliminated along with the New York Jets in our division. Some big injury news. Caden Wallace, rookie tackle, is back at practice. The guard, Cole Strange, as of like 20 minutes ago, is back at practice off the injured reserve list. And we cut KJ Osborne today. So some heavy transactions out in Foxboro. Some other notes that I had written down. Coach Mayo, through the bye week and his media availability, says turnovers are the biggest issue for the Patriots. They are -6 in turnover differential. And another note that I made, the Patriots have committed 18 false start and 20 holding penalties through 13 games. And then another 22 penalties where they're listed under other, which I can only assume are like illegal formation, illegal shifts, where like Vidarian Lowe and Demontre Jacobs are like just like 3 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And it's a very wacky team for sure. Ryan, I'll kick it with you first as the Patriots guy between me and you. What are you looking for in this Patriots Cardinals game on Sunday?
Well, I'm looking at how you can attack the Arizona Cardinals, and I think the way you attack them is, quite frankly, their defense just isn't that great. Like, and now with that being said, our offense isn't that great, so it could be fucking mid-off for all I know. But they just, from what I've gathered, their pass rush is kind of non-existent. I know they are non-existent. I know they got who's their defensive tackle at Missouri? Robinson, right? Or Robertson? What was his last name? Darius Robertson.
Ken?
Yeah. Darius Robertson.
Yeah, I was trying to remember his name off the top of my head. I know they just got him back off the injury list. He's a good pass rusher. He could give some problems to the interior. But all in all, just a very mediocre defense in Arizona. If if we're doing draft talk for them, like they need BPA there anywhere on defense. Offense, like as far as like the defensive versus offensive matchup versus the Cardinals, kind of a strangely quiet for Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, how often we heard him in the headlines for anything huge? Really,
Man has had like
you know, he's
3 good games.
third overall pick. He was like a first round draft choice in like a lot of fantasy leagues and stuff like that. Like this is like the hype was off the charts as it should be, like based off his tape coming out of Ohio State. But they've been mid. He's been mid. He's been, the Cardinals been mid. Trey McBride, I'm pretty sure he's like the most catches without a touchdown this year, if I remember correctly. Just a lot of talent, but a lot of inconsistencies and mediocrity there in Arizona. I think you can win. This could actually be a game where, honestly, if the bad Cardinals show up, New England has a chance. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No. I've been saying the Patriots have had a chance to win games like the last month now. I'm like, okay, if they do this, this, and this, they should be able to win this game. It's as we. You good there?
Here.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
booting me up the stage.
Obviously, we're coming off of the 1-point loss to Indianapolis, where they should have probably won that game. That's a game where that got away. They should have beat the Rams, to tell you the truth. I feel like I'm missing a game that they should have won in between all that.
Definitely not the Miami one.
Yeah, the Miami one we got smoked. Yeah, that was just one we didn't have a chance in. The Titans game. There's a lot of games where we had a chance to win it and we just let it slip away. This Cardinals team is on a skid. I think it's really noticeable when Kyler Murray gets off his game. His body language will tell you like it's gonna get ugly fast. So you gotta get into Kyler Murray's head. That's the first thing. Once you get there, that offense is maybe the most frustrating offense to watch because you know they're capable of big plays and they just don't do it. So yeah, that's the big thing. You gotta get into Kyler Murray's face, get in his head, get him on the ground a couple times, and hopefully you don't have to rely on a torn ACL in the third play like we did like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? I think this is a valid question to ask when we look through his career. Is Kyler Murray a good quarterback or is he a talented quarterback? Do you know what I mean?
I would say he's a good quarterback. He's just not as elite as we thought he would be.
Okay. That because like I think to myself, I'm like, man, he had all this hype coming out of Oklahoma. Like he even bypassed the Oakland Athletics. Like some people forget he was gonna go to the MLB.
He's a first round pick.
Yeah.
First
really good
overall pick,
outfielder.
Right?
Didn't he go first overall?
No, he's like 9th overall or something.
Oh, okay.
But like bypassed it for the NFL after a Heisman campaign, had a ton of hype. And he's had a few insane moments, like the Hail Murray, his second year in the league to DeAndre Hopkins. I'll never forget that. But you see through his career, it's like marred with just a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of, there's been issues with maybe work ethic, because he loves his video games. I don't know if that was ever true or not, but they had to put a film clause into his contract, which I've never really heard get reported before. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think I'm with Ken, but like I've been wanting to ask that for a while, seeing how the Cardinals have played this year, seeing how they've been, throughout his tenure. Just I don't know if this is someone that he's kind of an underwhelming player. Same with like Trevor Lawrence, just good, but not the guy. I don't know.
Both Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray in that same area. They should be top 10 quarterbacks because of the talent they have, but they're really in that range of like 12 to 20.
I think Kyler Murray's a lot closer than Trevor Lawrence is to that top 10. And I think he shows more moments of being a top 10 quarterback than Trevor Lawrence ever did.
That's it. Yeah, because just early this year, Kyler Murray was an MVP candidate and then just fell off these last month.
Wow, I wonder what happened between November and December. Did the video game come out? I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I haven't turned my Xbox on in a few months now.
Lots of double XP weekends on COD. I'll let you guys know that.
All right, Ken. What do you make of this as an outsider? Obviously, you were a big Drake May guy coming out. He was your QB1, and I was right there with you. For not knowing any better, obviously. What do you make of this Patriots Cardinals matchup? What do you make of the Patriots this season? What do you like out of Drake May so far? Just let it rip.
So Drake May, he's been as good as I thought. You know, he still has his inconsistency sometimes, but he also has that amazing I could put the team on my back type moments. Fourth quarters, turn it on. You know, he has all that still. He has probably still the best or second best rushing quarterback behind Jaden Daniels out of the class, but he has the upside above Jaden Daniels. So I still love my boy Drake May. You just got to get him some weapons because I think even if you have a bad offensive line, Drake May has shown he can elevate above bad offensive line, but he just can't elevate past the receivers dropping his passes. So that's how I felt so far. You just need Jalen Polk, Kayshon Boutte to play how you want them to play, not how they have been playing, and all that type of stuff.
Dude,
Boutte has flashes, but Polk is useless.
Polk might be a lost cause, man. Dude, I saw Jalen Polk is literally dead last, in PFF grading. He's putting one of the worst seasons of receivers ever put up.
I'm just hoping that is a rookie.
And remember, back in October, people were saying, "Oh, won't you put Drake May in? He's gonna catch all the passes because he has the most separation yards or whatever the fuck the stat was." And I said, once you put Drake May in there, the DBs aren't gonna get lazy and let him get open. And what happened? He got locked up because he sucks.
I also think his attitude is not necessarily great either.
Yeah, no, he's a total mental midget too.
Here's my problem with Jalen Polk, and this is a broader issue with the scouting staff in New England. I have an issue with, especially because we were told that there's gonna be a shift in philosophy and stuff like that. You know, this isn't Belichick drafting. All right,
still feels like Belichick drafting.
Yeah, we draft this kid out of Washington. We had the receivers coach, our receivers coach was one of their receivers coaches last year. We assume there's good, info on Jalen Polk, especially because when you look at it, there was Roma Dunze, which he had no chance at getting him. There was Jalen Polk and Jalen McMillan. Out of those three, Polk is dead last, the three by a wide margin.
Where did McMillan end up?
Tampa, and he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's going to be wide receiver 3.
It wouldn't shock me if, especially with his injury concerns and the fact he's hitting free agency, if he replaces Godwin and does pretty well in that role. Yeah, no, Polk, I wonder because it's we were told this is a character pick. Works his ass off every single day. And he comes to the NFL and it's
he's bitching on Instagram, bitching on Twitter, bitching at the refs. He's a princess.
Not only that, but it's shit at just shit route running shit, just shit. He goes into the field and creates no impact.
What is Jalen Polk good at? That's the number one question. What is he good at?
He had an almost catch versus the 49ers. That was cool.
Yeah, he had a game-winning touchdown that he would have had if he just got his effing feet down.
Yeah. For all the issues with Kayshon Boutte that he's had, I mean, Ken, you're an LSU fan, you know the Kayshon Boutte tale. At least Kayshon Boutte will go out there and despite
he has one good route a game. At least he's got that.
Yeah, he shows something.
And despite his 40, Kayshon Boutte, it was actually game time speed fast. Polk, Polk doesn't have that game speed.
I was expecting Polk to just be like second round Jacoby Myers. That's what I
thought he was gonna be
expected.
like
That's what I
Robert
wanted.
Woods. Which, if you're a Robert Woods, that's an awesome pick in the second round. No,
Yeah, I thought
he's
he.
neither. He's trash. And
And
I don't
then
want to.
Javon Baker, the 4th round pick, can't even see the field.
Yeah, I can't even explain that because the man's a dog.
Well, he's also a head case.
Yeah, but that's what makes him a dog.
You need.
I can't. Most of these, I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of the top receivers are head cases.
No, it's true. But Javon Baker can't catch passes in practice. And
Yeah,
then he goes
I
to
can't even
Logan
explain that because
Airport
at
and then
UCF
gets
he was.
pitched at by a state trooper and is like, "Oh, well, I pay your salary, bro. Like, stop hating." Like, come on.
I think Javon Baker is just immature, and if he ever kind of at least matures to an NFL standard, he'll be fine. He has the talent. I don't see it with Polk anymore. Like I think we're at the point with Polk where it could be like a cut your losses after year one type of thing for a second round pick, which that's brutal. That's brutal drafting. That's brutal scouting evaluation. Just everything went wrong there.
But are you ready for us to cut him? And then he catches the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl for fucking Detroit
Whatever.
or Buffalo.
The problem is, man.
Imagine the outrage when Tyquan Thornton catches a bomb in the Super Bowl for Kansas City.
That would require Tyquan Thornton to actually use his 4.3 speed.
Watch it's gonna happen.
Oh, it will. And it'll make me mauled. No, dude. At this point, I want players that just aren't fucking suckbags on the field, man. And not only aren't they not suckbags, but somewhat good at football. Is it too much to ask for? I mean,
A second round pick. You know who we could have had?
Lad.
Mm-hmm.
Could have had Lad. Could have had. And you know what's funny? Because
Y'all
I heard
drafted
all about
Polk
his
before Lad?
character issues before the
We
draft.
traded the pick that was used to get Lad.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we could have had Adonai Mitchell, who apparently was the big head case of all the receivers.
I'd rather have a guy who can't take care of his insulin than a guy who can't get his feet in bounds than bitches at the ref.
Yeah, I looking at this draft outside of Drake May, you have to seriously wonder if they should really look at firing their whole scouting staff, because I'm at the point where
No, Matt Gross should be launched into the sun first and foremost.
I'm at that point where I would fire a lot of these guys. To tell you the truth.
But the game at hand, Ken, Patriots Cardinals. What can the Patriots take advantage of this weekend to get their first win in a month, 2 months maybe?
I think they're just gonna have to run the ball a lot. To tell you the truth, and then keep the score low. That's how you win against the Cardinals. They should win against the Cardinals. In reality, and Chris put my boy Gonzo on Marvin Harrison, and they really don't have anything else besides Trey McBride, who he's a possession catcher. Yeah.
You know what?
Peppers
I like
and
Michael Wilson
Duggar can light him up on the line and see if that gets in his head, like Patrick Chung used to do to Kelsey back in the day. He'd get real physical with him, and Kelsey wouldn't really respond to that well. Hopefully that works the same for Trey McBride and Duggar and Peppers.
If I can give an underrated X factor for the Cardinals, and it's because I like this player a lot, Michael Wilson. He could be a
touchdown last week, didn't he?
Yeah. It was a pretty good touchdown grab. He's a big body receiver. He's 6'2", 200. All of our corners outside of Gonzo and Alex Austin, who up and down versus Indy, showed a lot of ups, but the downs were pretty bad. All our quarterbacks are pretty small. So Michael Wilson might be a matchup problem because Gonzo's going to probably erase Marvin Harrison Jr. So then we're looking at Michael Wilson versus Alex Austin, or Michael Wilson versus, Marcus Jones, Jonathan Jones. I would look at him as maybe having a big game.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
You know, like I said at the top, you gotta get to Kaleb Murray first and foremost. You gotta just blitz the crap out of him and hope that it works. Bring out that Longhorn package with Schooler as the QB spy. I'm sure we'll see that a lot. We missing anything else with this Patriots Cardinals matchup? Can we see Caden Wallace and Cole Strange making a difference at all on this line?
I don't know about Caden Wallace, but I like Cole Strange.
You like Cole Strange?
If he does, is he going to be active, or is he just
assume
off
so.
the, or if he
If they
just
took him
off
off
the
the list
IR?
and he's been practicing the last 2 weeks, I mean,
Yeah, actually, he's been practicing for damn near a month at this point.
oh, so he's at the end of his window.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he has to play. Okay.
I mean, listen, if he's not active, I know he tore his patellar. That's a brutal, one of the worst. That's actually probably one of the worst injuries you can get. But the fact that he didn't even start practicing until November, and we don't even know if he's going to start in a game in mid-December is a major red flag for his durability going forward. Holy shit, dude. You might be cooked. Hopefully he's not.
He was injured a lot in his rookie year too.
Yeah.
Was he?
Well, not only that, but
true.
he came into the draft as a 24-year-old prospect, man. He'll be 26. He'll be 27 next year.
Who most experts had going in the 3rd, 4th round. Sean McVay was floored that he couldn't draft him in the 4th round.
To be fair, I will say he was always going to get drafted higher. From what I heard, he was going to go 2nd.
Shouldn't have been 1st round.
He shouldn't have been. I hate that pick to this day, but
we should have stuck and took Trent McDuffie like I wanted.
Yeah.
But Belichick and skill players in the 1st round just can't have it. All right. Any parting thoughts for wide receiver KJ Osborne as he probably goes back and signs with the Vikings?
Thanks for nothing. I don't
7 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown in 7 appearances.
Thanks for displaying a shitty attitude and making weird posts after a game in London.
Dude caught a touchdown against Jacksonville in London and acted like he was the shit.
Dude, he had a weird thing around the trade deadline or whatever. He's texting his agent that wasn't his agent or whatever. And they're we're gonna get you free, bro, or something like that. Or
yeah, right after the Jags game.
Yeah, I'm what the fuck is going on here?
It's the weirdest part is that it was worded as a mutual agreement that we were gonna cut him.
You're not that guy, KJ. You're not.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. Mutually agreed. Yeah, bro, it just isn't working for the both of us. No, you
Ken, do you want another asshole wide receiver right next to Deontay Johnson over in Baltimore?
No. guy who won't play, who just won't play.
Mm-hmm. You got a guy who won't play, then a guy who texts his agent like he's he should be the number one.
Mm-hmm. You know what? New red flag in receivers. If the Pittsburgh Steelers don't want you, that should really say something about your character.
Yeah.
Go look at
if Mike Tomlin can't control you, John Harbaugh sure not gonna control you.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin has to play babysitter for George Pickens on a fucking weekly basis, and George Pickens is still a total psycho. What does that say about Deontay Johnson, man? Holy shit.
All right. You guys ready to talk some Patriots offseason?
Yeah.
All right. So right now, according to Tankathon, as I double check just to make sure. Oh, come on, asshole. I don't want the NBA draft order. The Patriots have the number 3 overall pick behind the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Giants, who we can probably assume are going to take a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
We feel pretty confident in
I
saying
think Shador is the Raider.
Yeah. Tom Brady wants that boy Shador.
Dude, it's so funny. Every time the Raiders lose, Shador Sanders tweets, "Oh God is good." Every single time, man. Go look at his Twitter. It's eerie.
Yeah, I heard that on sports radio covering that. But the Patriots are now worse than the Panthers at the number 3 overall pick. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie at 3-10, but the Patriots have the weakest strength of schedule, so they have the number 3 pick right now. They have a ton of cap space. I think it's like $180 million or something in 2025.
It's gonna be like around 140, I think.
Okay.
145.
And
Who's
not a
some
lot
guy
of guys they're going to want to bring back, obviously. So yeah, let's talk about some of the prospects they want to look at. Any of the free agents or trade acquisitions we could make, top prospects. I listed wide receiver, offensive tackle, and cornerback as our top needs. Ken, I'll kick it off with you because this is kind of your expertise. What do you make of this Patriots draft? Who are you looking at? What would you do if you were Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo? Who are you looking at, and why?
So with the third pick, it's obviously for me Travis Hunter, because he could fill out both needs, corner or receiver, whichever one you need. Easy.
Yeah.
He's probably he's a top 3 receiver in the draft, and he's a top 3 corner in the draft. So
Am I insane for wanting Tet more than Travis Hunter or Will Campbell more than Travis Hunter?
I think Travis Hunter's a better player than both. So that's why I think it would make more sense to go with Travis Hunter over them. If you want Tet over him, or I don't feel that's a good pick. But Will Campbell, I can understand because after the first round, it's really hard to get an offensive tackle. And after the first round, you can get another receiver.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing with Travis Hunter. BR, friend of the show, good friend of the show, big Colorado fan. We were talking about this, and I asked him the same question: am I insane for wanting Tet over Travis Hunter? And he says, well, I think Travis Hunter is more of a corner than a wide receiver. And what I think is going to happen when he goes to the NFL is he's going to be mostly a corner with some packages as a wide receiver where he gets maybe 20 snaps a game. And at that point, I think we need a receiver way more than we need a corner. And I hate to put it like this, but this is kind of how I'm thinking. I don't really want a super Marcus Jones on this team where he is a little more dynamic on offense, but I don't know how he's going to translate in the NFL as a wide receiver. And I'm not interested in that 20 snap package. Like I'd rather just have either the elite corner or the elite wide receiver.
What if I told you he was both?
Then I want the wide receiver. I want him playing offense full time.
You could do that. That's the pros.
Like, I don't think that we're dealing with a Shohei Ohtani here. That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what he is, though.
I don't think that that's going to translate
right now. Right now, he's like top 10 in receiving.
Can I give a comp for Travis Hunter?
It's Deion Sanderson.
I was going to say Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Charles Woodson was both an elite corner and an elite receiver at Michigan.
Yeah, and he picked one. And he picked one.
He picked one. He ended up being a Hall of Famer at both corner and basically safety throughout his career.
Okay, that's defense.
But the Patriots are a bad team.
Okay.
I was just going to make that argument, Ken. The Patriots need blue chippers, man. Like,
exactly.
If we get... We'll talk about it in the free agency part, but like if we get like a T. Higgins or something at receiver, that'll
right. We still have a lot of bridges to cross for sure.
Yeah,
but
I'm okay with getting a blue chipper at any position. Quite frankly,
exactly.
The team sucks. Like
that's the point I was gonna make. He's elite at everything at both. Not everything, but at both DB and receiver. So you just get top 10 players in the league. When you can, that's you already have your quarterback. Now you just build the rest of the team.
There's another player I'm gonna bring up. I'll bring him up right now. Abdul Carter out of Penn State is a player I'm really warming up on as a Micah Parsons kind of edge rusher.
That's gonna you're gonna have to have a huge offseason for me to want to edge rusher at like number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, it's more like the problem is doing it in December. Like we're kind of like we have 130 million in cap space. It's not like 140. Like we got a literal like treasure chest of free agency waiting to happen before we can even nail it down. But like there's names where I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, third overall, we could get, we could get Travis Hunter. That's a blue chip superstar talent. If he plays up to his capabilities, he's going to Canton. Like he's one of the most hyped up prospects in recent memory. You get Ted McMillan, big 6'5" receiver, drawing potential comparisons to Mike Evans. I don't know if he'll be Mike Evans. That's quite lofty. But, Will Campbell, is he a tackle? Is he a guard? I don't know. All I know is he can pass block.
If he's a guard, I don't want him at 3.
Well, he's kind of got dino arms.
He's Isaiah Wynn plus.
Except for he hasn't allowed it. He only
like,
allowed 2 sacks in 2 sacks in 3 years in the
he's
SEC.
really good though. Like he could play tackle. It's just I feel like I'm kind of soured a little on Will Campbell personally, just because.
We had this discussion with Rashawn Slater, and look at Rashawn Slater now, a top 5 left tackle in the league.
He's pretty great, yeah. It's definitely an interesting conundrum of Will Campbell. You'd have to really trust your O-line coaching, I think, to put him in the right spot, in my opinion.
I don't trust our O-line coaching.
Nor do I. So I don't know if I'm in on Will Campbell as much as I used to be. Even like players like Mason Graham is another name out of Michigan. I know D tackle probably, but like because they got Barmore, but Mason Graham could be like that Dexter Lawrence type of presence down the middle.
Jalen Carter, right?
Jalen Carter, just Jeffrey Simmons, Chris Jones, like just a total unblockable
defensive player of the year type.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I'd put Mason Graham above Abdul Carter if I would just the pass rush is pass rush,
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get it done, whether it's interior. I would say in the era of pocket passing, I would say interior rush is more important, but we're kind of to a point where guys are more boundary than they are pocket.
You're in the Josh Allen division.
Yeah. So
just get somebody to chase and tackle him.
Yeah. Abdul Carter is basically Micah Parsons. Like carbon copy. But like Mason Graham's also like a DPOY caliber. They're both like elite talents.
Yeah.
It would make this defense a lot better on day one. So I'm sold on either of those guys depending on the offseason route. Is there any other names? Will Johnson actually is another guy I'd want to bring up.
Dubs kept mocking him to the Patriots in his early mocks, and I'm not super interested in a corner. I think our defense can skate by. I think we need to get Drake May help on that offense. I think we need to get him a guy who can catch the ball.
I do too. I will say in this era of drafting, unfortunately, even though we blunder it a lot, every draft is deep with receivers.
And we draft the ones who can't play consistently.
Yeah, that's the bad part. The Patriots just have. I would say wait to the second round, third round in a draft like this for receiver.
And we still miss.
Exactly. The Patriots' second and third rounders haven't really looked.
I was gonna say, like, we could get like a Mecca Ibuka or something in the second round, and like we'll just take some fucking guy that was his third receiver.
We're gonna take like Ja'Cory Brooks,
We're gonna take like Kyron Lacey.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
Oh man.
Kyron Lacey's out of LSU. Ja'Cory Brooks out of Louisville.
Kyron Lacey's basically like Kayshon Boutte all over again. Super talented, but like a bit of a nut job.
Yeah, he keeps on doing the gun celebrations,
Great. That's just what we need. Ken, you got anybody on your list?
Kyron Lacey, the 25-year-old
pick. Like, who do you like the most?
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Okay.
would you call it?
I'm not super high. I don't think that he's going to be a great two-way player in the NFL. I'm a little skeptical.
The thing about it, if he plays 20 snaps, where we have 60 snaps in a game, right? Per on offense, you normally have 60 snaps, about 60 snaps per game, and he plays 20 snaps. You could what if he just doesn't play run plays? Or if he, you know what I'm saying? He's
Well,
not.
then it's easy to
like,
say.
don't put him in there on like 12.
The passing play
Like
guys.
if he's not there in there on like 12 personnel, you know what I'm saying? And just put him in there for like 11 personnel, and then just make him an impact player there.
No, I'm with Ken. Like I personally want Hunter at 3. The more I've kind of slept on it, but there needs to be a lot of moving parts this offseason before we even get to it. Do we want to do free agency now? Or do we have anything?
Sure.
I have one player I want to bring up as a offensive lineman I really like that I think could be in the second round.
Well, let's tackle the big thing first that came out this week. That the Patriots are allegedly super high on T. Higgins, and they're going to be really in on him in the early stages of this offseason. What does something like that cost? 1. 2, are you willing to give it up? And then 3, the contract, obviously.
So how do you feel? So how do you feel about $30 million for a receiver?
It's not my money.
I don't. Listen,
money.
We got Drake May on a rookie contract. I don't care.
Yeah, you got to make the most of this window, man. I'm not a stickler for money. I am willing to pay good players. It's just, is Bob Kraft willing to pay players? It still has yet to be seen, obviously, but Belichick, I think they worked really well together. That Kraft didn't really want to spend money, and Bill kind of got off on not giving players money. So now you got to have Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo being like, yes, I want to spend money. And they were willing to make Brandon Ayuk the highest paid receiver in football. So that's a sign of good things, I think. Grain of salt, obviously, we don't really know the offer. We just have sources that say, yeah, it was upwards of $30 million a year. I'm more happy paying T. Higgins that money in hindsight than Brandon Ayuk. Not even just because of the injury, but I think Ayuk is just a pansy. I think with you guys saw that he was throwing fits in Niners practice, like right after he signed that contract, right? Kyle Shanahan told him to change his shorts, and he got all pissed and threw a tantrum. Okay, I haven't seen T. Higgins do that.
No, T. Higgins, from everything I've heard, is like been a high quality kind of guy. Like even yesterday, like the Cowboys basically, for whatever, like that was the dumbest game planning I've seen from the Cowboys. Hey, let's like clamp up T. Higgins and let Jamar Chase go wild on us. And T. Higgins just took it in stride. Like he seems like a easygoing guy. You need those kinds of guys.
He might also know that he's out of town. In a losing season. What's likely going to be a losing season, as we'll get to a little bit later. But Ken, I'm just gonna strick it right to you, ask a question. What is T. Higgins gonna cost as far as acquiring him? Because the Bengals aren't gonna let him go for free.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the Bengals, I don't think they'll franchise tag him again, because I think that would make him like 35 million. Whatever,
it's not happening again.
Exactly. That would make him like around Justin Jefferson type money. So they're not franchise tagging him again. And so I think they are gonna just let him go.
Really?
And
you don't think we're gonna have to trade anything for him? No transition tag or anything?
Because the Bengals are poor.
Well, are they poor or are they cheap?
Relatively poor.
They are literally cash poor. They're the most cash poor franchise in the league.
Yeah,
it's them or the Raiders.
And if you when you franchise tag a player, you have to have that money at that time.
So
he's going to free agency. He's walking. Like,
okay, so it's just a bidding war. Okay,
exactly.
So you say the contract is going to be worth upwards of $30 million.
And remember, they still got to pay Jamar Chase.
I thought they already paid him.
No.
Yeah, they're not paying both.
Price of the brick keeps going up for Jamar Chase. every fucking week. Just a dumb or I've already
Remember
Caleb
that's
already
why
knows how I
Jamar
feel about
Chase
the
held out
Bengals.
because
But just a dumb organization, man.
they
Complete
didn't
bungling.
pay T Higgins because they wanted to pay Jamar Chase, and now they're not paying Jamar Chase yet.
Oops, we forgot to pay the generational talent we have at receiver who happens to be best buddies with our quarterback who came up together.
And they didn't pay Joe Mixon because they didn't pay T Higgins.
Well, they shouldn't have paid Joe Mixon.
I mean, Brown's been quite a revelation for them.
I'm just saying they just keep on passing the money down because they can't pay anybody.
And I don't understand why they can't pay anybody. Like what is wrong with their cap right now?
It's all cash. It's all liquid cash. They don't. Dude,
well, they also don't have a ton of cap space.
Dude, they literally
they're paying like Orlando Brown, you know.
Yeah, Orlando Brown's making $15 million. Trey Hendrickson's making $18 million.
Yeah, and they have to they have to extend both Jamar Chase and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, they literally had to go get naming rights for their stadium just to help pay for like Joe Burrow's contract.
You think Joe Burrow's sitting there like, why did I sign this contract?
It wouldn't shock me if they let Jamar Chase go if Burrow, after a year or two of it, does request a trade. Or this is ridiculous. It's the most. The Bengals are like. They're literally that fucking. They are the exact definition. If they had like 2 Bugattis in their front lawn, and then had the fucking trailer park home, that is that organization.
And listen, it's not like they sucked in their window. I mean, you had a pretty good. You went to a Super Bowl. You were a couple plays away from winning a Super Bowl.
And then everything after has just been like a complete. They also fucked up.
That's when everybody was on their rookie contracts too.
Just a whole bunch of like
poverty organization. Cincinnati Bengals.
They are absolutely are.
Good way to put it. So T Higgins might be available. Jamar Chase might be available. Who else?
Oh yeah, you know what? If Jamar Chase is available, fuck the 3rd overall pick. I don't give a shit about that. Send that packing. I don't care.
No, I'd do that for sure.
I'll send another one. Hey, who else do you want? Anything that's not Drake May or Gonzo's on the table for all I care.
Like, if you're just talking about trades, Micah Parsons hasn't been paid either.
I don't know about like
that'd be sweet.
It would be pretty sweet for a 3rd overall pick. Him for the 3rd, I would do it.
I signed him in Madden last year.
Man, did you see a meltdown and like walk off the field last night after like
he was crying?
No,
yeah,
I didn't watch the game.
Dude, he literally had a meltdown on the sidelines, and he walked off the field before the game was over. Granted, I kind of don't blame him. The way the Cowboys lost last night was like that was comical.
I thought Amari saying that name Oruwariye. Yeah, I thought he was about to get death threats.
Dude. How awareness 101. Dude, the one thing I always will take from Bill Belichick in a positive manner is the way he coached special teams, which is you stay the fuck away from that football.
Yeah.
Don't play hot potato with that. And that was I was floored when that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. As a Bengals hater, I was happy after the block punt, and then bruh just.
Dude, as someone that needed like CeeDee Lamb to stand at a certain amount of points, I was like, yes, let's go.
Ryan, you had a tackle in mind for the Patriots in free agency?
Yeah, not in free agency. It was in the draft. And I was gonna bring him up in this as a potential 2nd round guy, or even trade up back into the 1st, depending on his medicals. Josh Simmons from the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's really, really good. The only problem is he tore his ACL this year.
Oh, that's good.
But He's really fucking good though. Like, and he's a
He's up
pure
for
left tackle.
OT
Like,
3.
what's up?
OT3.
I think so. Yeah, behind Banks and or Campbell and Banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be a pure left tackle. Like, there's no like switching positions for him.
We need those because we just keep sticking right tackles at left and hoping they can play.
Yeah. So that would be my sleeper pick for New England. Just
I thought you had a free agent in mind.
You say, well, even though you guys don't like your offensive line coach, what do you think about Cameron Williams?
Cameron Williams,
Texas.
Sorry, what was that?
Texas OT, who he's right tackle though. But what you call it?
Cameron Williams, like he plays for Miami, right? Or am I thinking?
No. Cameron Williams plays he's the right tackle for for Texas. He's like he has all the tools and all that. You know, he's a monster, but he's a little raw. How you feel about a guy like that?
I think we need just impact right off the gate, man.
I'll take any excuse to kick Mike Onwenu back inside because he sucks at tackle.
I'm still surprised he's not a guard.
I will say, like,
because we don't have any tackles to play. He's the best tackle and he sucks.
I mean, you could just Zach Martin him, even though he's the best tackle you have. Keep him at guard either way.
Yeah. Well,
then who's going to play tackle?
You're expecting the Patriots.
Demontre Jacobs and Vidarian Lowe are horrible.
It's like better to have
Caden Wallace back. Let's see what Caden Wallace can do.
If you have the thing about having Oweno at tackle is you have to have 5 good offensive linemen. Right now, you have 5 bad offensive linemen. If Oweno was at guard, at least you have 1 good offensive lineman in 4.
Respect City Sal. City Sal's been all right. Is he even playing? Like, who is playing offensive line for the Patriots now?
You want to have as many guys playing good as you can on offensive line. Because
you know who I want to give a little bit of praise to is Ben Brown, because
Ben Brown's been fine when he isn't crapping his pants. Like, he's fine.
Yeah. Like, our standards are so low that like I have to celebrate a practice squad signing.
I swear, who's playing offensive line for the Patriots? Like, I have no idea.
Dude, we can do like a who he played for and just name random offensive linemen and just ask anyone. Like, hey,
Patriots depth chart. All right. Demontre Jacobs is your starting right tackle. Mike Onwenu is playing right guard. Okay. Ben Brown, Layden Robinson. City Sal isn't even starting. What is going on?
I like Layden Robinson, but like he's a work in progress in Fast Pro, man.
Speaking of tackles, how about Chuk Shakur? How well is that signing gone?
Yeah.
Well,
straight left the team. Straight left.
That guy's a pillow.
He was bad. He was bad before he got there. So
I will say,
listen, he'd be a better right tackle than Demontre Jacobs, but we don't even want to. We say, hey, Chooks, can you play left? And he says no. And it's like, okay, well, you're gonna play left, and then he leaves the team.
Once again, that goes to show with this team in our scouting department, who are we signing? Who are our character signings, man?
Well, Jabril Peppers was supposed to be a big character guy. Then he missed 8 weeks for doing that thing.
Maybe or maybe not. Yeah. We'll let the legal system play its course there. But yeah, no, not looking good for him.
Oh my God.
I can't think of. Are there any good tackles in free agency this year? I don't think so. Huh?
Well, there is a player that's not a tackle, but he's a really good football player on the offensive line, and we need those. Trey Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a player once again, I'll pay. We have $140 million or whatever.
Yeah, and I can see the Chiefs not re-signing him with them still having to extend Mahomes and all that.
Yeah.
Or
they're going to restructure Mahomes' contract every year.
Yeah.
He's not playing on $50 million a year or whatever again. Like, let's be real here. Give me Trey Smith on this O-line. They need quality. Once again, the problem with the Patriots is also, like, outside of the fact that the attitude shit, the roster construction shit, they need talent, man. They're 2 blue chippers and a bunch of bums.
I was about to say, who's the second? I remember Christian Gonzalez.
I was gonna say we have a top 5 cornerback in the league, and we have one of the most up and coming rookie.
Gonzo's already top 5 corner.
Gonzo's
At least top 10. At least top 10.
I think he's top 5. If he doesn't make the All Pro team, I'm gonna be pissed off because I think he actually deserves it.
I don't know if he's making All Pro. I think he's gonna make Pro Bowl.
I'll take it a step further. He's an All Pro caliber player already. That's my take.
I'm trying to think of the other corners in the league that are really, really good.
I think Surtain is better.
Stingley
is better, and then after that, it's like I don't know. I think Gonzo is behind those guys, and that's really it to me.
Yeah, because Sauce is falling off this year.
Sauce is. Overrated.
There's Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey's been pretty good, but Ramsey will eventually. He's 30. He's had a history of knee issues.
Yeah, he'll eventually fall off.
Is Marlon Humphrey still good?
Elite.
Okay,
bro. I wish that he could cover everybody.
What, Nate Wiggins isn't doing it for you?
Nate Wiggins and Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey are elite, but Brandon Stevens has to cover somebody, and that's the problem.
So it's kind of like
that feels like us with Marcus Jones.
Yeah.
Because Nate Wiggins stays on the right side of the field, and Brandon Stevens stays on the left side of the field, and then so everybody always puts their best receivers on the left side.
Well, you don't move them around? No,
Marlon Humphrey's the only one who moves around, and yeah, that's all. But he's been playing a lot of slot because we don't have a slot corner.
This Patriots. I just look at our depth chart and I'm like, oh my god, everybody sucks.
This is what Ken and I are saying though. We're at the point where we kind of need blue chippers.
I look at Ramondre Stevens and I'm like, even you kind of suck, dude.
I'm so sad about his fall off.
I think he's partially an O-line merchant, partially it's hard to get shit done when the Patriots yards before contact is minus 80. Yeah. I think with a better O-line, Ramondre's still good. He's just not.
We saw it. His rookie year.
He's just not a top 10 paid running back in the league, which is what they fucking made him. Type player.
The Patriots should have just cleaned house when they fired Bill.
They should have.
And we can rehash that, just how bad just the transition was. The Carolina Panthers are trending better than we are, and we should be offended.
Because the Carolina Panthers hired a coach that was actually not predetermined. They actually went out and did a process into things. They didn't just be like, "Oh, well, we went on a trip to the fucking to Israel and decided."
Would anybody in their right mind say that David Tepper is a better owner than Robert Kraft? 6 months ago?
David Tepper is a bad owner in every sport.
Right. And now we're looking at Robert Kraft
I would say Kraft is marginally better, and it's only because Kraft isn't Kraft's not a great guy. I think we can all say that. But at least Kraft isn't doing his employees the way David Tepper would do them. David Tepper's like Dan Snyder. Bad.
Yeah, but the Panthers are trending upwards, and we're
stagnant. Are because they nailed their head coach hire. And I've been yelling Dave Canales' name from the rooftops for years.
Drake May still looks better than Bryce Young. So I think
for sure. For sure.
But from Bryce Young, the crater, the way he cratered to he's now back to Alabama Bryce is really good to see, in my opinion.
All right, you guys want to get into these NFL CFB topics and get off these Patriots?
Yeah, we did.
That was your Patriots off-season preview. We'll have Ken back throughout the offseason as we did last year, right before the draft. Draft is in Green Bay. I don't think anybody's going to that. So I plan on live streaming again.
And I live up here, and I'm not going to it.
I don't blame you. Why would you step foot in Green Bay? You go when the Ravens play the Packers, so you can say you go to Lambeau. Oh, that's cool, and then you never go back again.
I think Green Bay be a fun city to get drunk in. Outside of that,
There is nothing in Green Bay, Ryan. There's nothing.
nothing but beer, baby.
It's Lambeau and one bar.
I'm sure that bar is fun as fuck to be in, man.
Like, no, I'm good. I will never step foot in Green Bay. Never.
I'll go for the one time, but no, I'm with you. The difference between Green Bay and my goddamn hometown is the fact that Green Bay has like an 80,000 seat stadium.
Seriously. All right. I wrote down 10 topics for us to talk about, NFL and college football, despite me not knowing a damn thing about it. And we're just gonna run it through in order. So, number one, what do the Vikings do with Sam Darnold this offseason? Ken, I'll pitch it right to you.
Not pay him. Did you call it?
Okay, give me a bigger plan than that.
Just let him go. I would let him go if I'm the
You let him
Vikings.
go for free.
Yeah, I'll take the comp pick or whatever comes from it. What you call it? JJ was brought in for a reason, and I feel like what Sam Darnold could do, JJ is gonna do and more. JJ also offers the running ability, all that, you know.
You know you're on a pro Sam Darnold program, right?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, but you already know how I felt about Sam Darnold. He's a Vikings merchant right now.
He's playing great football right now. You got to admit.
He's playing good football.
He's playing great football. He is if he wasn't a Vikings merchant, obviously, like he'd be an MVP candidate. But we know that he's kind of getting lifted up by, like, if we didn't know any better, he'd be an MVP candidate. If this wasn't former dumpster fire Sam Darnold, he'd be an MVP candidate. He's most certainly going to win that comeback player of the year award that Geno Smith won. He's certainly.
I think some people are saying it's Russell, but I agree, Sam Darnold.
I think with Darnold, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, you just straight up let him walk. If he wins the Super Bowl, then you might need to have some conversations. And that's where things get tricky.
I think you guys are wrong.
You have to also remember they have to pay other people. And then he's gonna want at least $30 million? At least. And Daniel Jones got 40 million.
I was about to say, yeah, QB market has skyrocketed.
Yeah, Daniel Jones got 40 million. So imagine if Sam Darnold wants to get brought back. Yeah, they're not doing that.
I think he's walking. Falling short of the Super Bowl, where then you have tricky conversations.
Here's my idea. Number one, you tag Sam Darnold and you move him to whoever the hell's going to take him for whatever. Then you give Daniel Jones a 3-year, $35 million contract to be your bridge. To be your failsafe in case JJ McCarthy needs more time. So we'll see how that goes on that end. I think you tag and trade him. I think you have to. And listen, there's going to be a team that's going to take him for a second-round pick. And his comp pick is probably a third.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade. So.
Yeah, Darnold to me is just a wait and see. Because there's a couple outcomes that could really
listen. If he implodes, like I've been kind of waiting for, I've been saying that this run can't last forever.
I mean, he had that November stretch of not looking good. Yeah,
he's back to playing good football.
But yeah, now he's playing good. Yeah, so I mean,
one thing I did notice with the Vikings is they recognize that Jordan Addison happened to also be a living, breathing human being.
And they're basically not throwing to anybody besides the tight ends. Who was it? TJ Mark. They just throw to 4 people now. And they just said, "We're gonna score 40."
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know why Addison decided to put up 40 points a game when I was already eliminated from the playoffs in fantasy. But
listen, I dropped him in one of my leagues, so don't even tell me that. He was doing nothing for me. I got Jacoby Myers instead.
And Myers is mid.
Myers has been really good fantasy wise. He's putting up solid performances for me.
Yeah, how's Addison?
Addison's putting up 30s.
Yeah, whatever. I have Khalil Shakir. That's fine. My receivers are mid. Whatever. I have the best
Did you
running
make the
back duo
playoffs?
in the league.
Did you make the playoffs in
I
that
did,
league?
yes.
Okay,
I squeaked in. That was the league I was sweating CD Lamb points.
gotcha.
But no, I got in because I have the best running back duo in the league.
Obviously, in our league, you lost on tiebreakers. There was a valiant
That
effort.
annoyed me. I won't lie. You text me that. I'm like, motherfucker, I thought I got in.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, we play by a better set of rules than Sleeper.
Well, boo.
All right, number 2.
No
Here are the top
playoffs.
playoff teams as they stand today. Obviously, include the bubble teams. I started with Ken, right? I started with you last time.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, tier 'em.
Can you pull up my tier? That way I don't come off camera. It sends it to our the chat we have.
Okay. Yeah, you had 3 teams in S tier, which I assume are Super Bowl favorites. Bills, Lions, Chiefs.
Yeah. So I mean, Buffalo. Josh Allen's playing. Josh Allen's, with barring an implosion, will be the MVP of the league this year. Playing the best football of his career. He is infuriatingly good.
One thing I like to say about the MVP, keeping track, Lamar Jackson and him had the same amount of touchdowns, even after a 6-touchdown game.
What I will say about Lamar is, will they give him a third one, or are they going to give it to Allen in the way that, like, you look at like Nikola Jokic versus like Joel Embiid that one time, right? Where Jokic had like the MVPs, but then they're like, you know what? Embiid's been pretty great too. Let's give it to Embiid.
A tier. Vikings, Ravens, Eagles, Steelers, Packers.
Well, there's 2 NFC North teams in there, which really goes to show how great the division is. I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Vikings, Ravens, Eagles, Steelers, Packers.
Yeah, so it's okay. There's 2 of the 2 North teams. Yeah, no, the Ravens. Ken, you would know a lot more about them than I do because you're a Ravens fan. I have not been impressed with your defense at all this year. And I'm to a point where it's put up or shut up with Lamar in the playoffs and just the Ravens in general. Because we know the regular season story for the Ravens. We know you guys got Derrick Henry now. He's been just turning back the clock. He's just timeless at this point. But I don't know. I don't trust the Ravens yet. So they're in the A tier. The Steelers, I mean, the way they're playing A tier football right now. I have to admit I was wrong about them. And the rest of the teams, I think, are all kind of fringe Super Bowl contenders if things go right and bounce their way. I can see it.
B tier. Washington, Chargers, Seattle, Houston.
So all teams that are either leading their division or are right in the mix, but I don't think they have the horses or have been playing the way that you would expect a traditional Super Bowl contender to play, to go on deep runs. In the Chargers case, I think the Chargers are the best team of that bunch, but the best coached team of that bunch. But they are lacking the horses offensively to make a deep run.
C tier. Broncos, Rams, Dolphins, Niners, Buccaneers.
A lot of fringe cases there. All these teams have talent, and in Denver's case, Bo Nix sneakily might be rookie of the year.
No, not sneakily. He is the rookie of the year.
I know. Like, imagine thinking that.
Yeah,
like,
we were dead wrong there.
The Broncos case is just rookie quarterback. Who knows? They've been playing really well. You could maybe slot if I had Washington B, you could slot Denver up into B maybe, or even slot Washington down. The rest of the teams are just fringe playoff cases. Like, they have a real chance of wild card, but how far are they going to go? I don't know.
And the teams need a lot of help. Falcons, Cardinals, Bengals, Colts.
Yeah, lots of teams that, quite frankly, have been they're talented but really unimpressive.
All right, Ken, what's your tier list?
All right, so I had my favorites as the Chiefs and the Lions. The Lions have looked dominant, and the Chiefs have devil magic. And my contenders are the Bills, the Eagles, Ravens, Steelers, Vikings, and Packers. All those teams have looked dominant, but not as great sometimes as others. The Bills, their defense have looked suspect. Letting the Rams put up 44 is crazy.
Yep.
The Eagles, they of late they've looked better, but they've had their bad first halves, and how many times can they have these bad first halves and come back later on? Ravens, their passing defense has been suspect. Then everybody throw at least 300 yards besides like the Bills and the Steelers. The Steelers, another devil magic team.
Yeah.
They're they just keep coming back at the end of these games. Their defense is probably like top 3 in the league though. Vikings, the rest of the team besides Sam Darnold looks elite. And so they just need to
only
overcome
because of Sam Darnold. Get it right.
They weren't doing this with Kirko, even in the best years.
I mean, they did. They just lost in the playoffs.
I don't know. Is Kirk's best year better than Sam Darnold's year right now? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't. Kirk had years where he was like top 5 in every passing category.
I'm talking about 2022. Was Kirk's 2022 better than Sam Darnold's 2024?
Is that the year they lost to the
yes
Giants in the playoffs?
Yep.
No, that Sam Darnold's was better.
I think that's Kirk's best year because that was the best team. That was the best year for the team.
I think they had better years before that.
Was that 2019 team better than the 2022 team? I don't know.
I think they were. But that's another debate. What you call it? And in the Packers, they look good on both sides of the ball. They just need Jordan Love not to turn it over, and they win.
Yeah.
I love Jordan Love so much, man. That guy is just. I'll never stop pushing his propaganda. He's just the most fucking we ball player I've ever seen.
He's Rodgers mechanics with Favre's mentality.
Yeah.
Inside of you, there's 2 Jordan Loves. Aaron Rodgers played safe, and then there's the Brett Favre fucking we ball.
All right. And then so my teams that are just like the real playoff teams are the Chargers, the Broncos, Commanders, Texans, Seahawks. I don't think any of them can win the championship, but I think all of them can win a playoff game. And then the sneaky teams that could make the playoffs, Colts, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks, Falcons, Niners. All those teams have like injuries holding them back, or they have something like this. Like the Rams had their injuries early, but they're already fallen so far behind. Falcons, they're falling apart altogether. Niners, they've been butchered, and Cardinals and Colts, they've already are falling off. The rest of the teams I didn't even rank because I didn't think they have possibilities of really making playoffs.
Okay. Well, since I have the ability to present my tier list, I will. This one. All right, perfect. So my S tier: the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions, and the Eagles. I think these are your heavy Super Bowl favorites. I don't think that any team really comes close. I think you're expecting 2 of these 4 to be in the Super Bowl for sure, pending anything crazy. The Chiefs obviously have a magic horseshoe shoved right up their ass. The Bills, top to bottom, best team in football as far as just talent and how they play. Obviously, that Rams game, just a debacle on coaching. The Lions, same as the Bills, one of the best teams in football, if not the best team in football. And they're not really getting bitten by Dan Campbell being aggressive yet. And the Eagles, talent. We'll see if this AJ Brown thing stews into anything that's going to really kill them.
That's another Patriots offseason target if things get dicey, baby. Bring
in your
AJ
A tier.
Brown to Foxboro.
In your A tier is the Ravens and the Vikings. As Ryan said, the Ravens defense has been really suspect. Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Something to watch. I think the Ravens can be a force. They can pull an upset. They catch the Chiefs on an off day and they're able to take advantage. But it's worth noting that Lamar Jackson is something like 4-12 against the Chiefs and the Steelers through his career. It's worth noting. And then the Vikings, obviously, you're just hoping that this Sam Darnold magic doesn't fall off. And to a lesser degree, I feel the same way about the Steelers. They proved that they could win in a shootout against the Bengals, but that's a bad defense. Like, how much were they really getting pushed around versus how good can the Steelers be on offense? I put the Rams in B because I think if they make the playoffs, they're a dangerous team. They're an experienced team. They have weapons in Kupp and Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is one of my favorite plays in the NFL, hands down. But obviously making the playoffs is a concern. They are the 8th seed right now. If the Commanders were to fall, which I think is possible with a rookie quarterback, with a rookie or a first time in a while head coach and Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury as your OC, things can get dicey. That's why they're in C tier. And then obviously the Packers, talented team. Jordan Love, there's certainly a ceiling there as far as how long he can go without causing a game-wrecking turnover. They probably should have had that game against Detroit, though, for sure. In your C tier, teams I don't really trust. The Texans, kind of a weird step back. The Broncos, talented rookie quarterback and all that. The Chargers, they have a quarterback. They have a head coach. They just don't have the talent yet. The Buccaneers, injury-ridden. Hard to trust them. And then the Seahawks, I really don't trust them. They're gonna probably win the division, but I don't trust them at all. And then your D tier, if any of these teams make the playoffs, I'd be shocked. And if they made the playoffs, I do not see them getting out of the first round at all. So those are my tiers. Let's go into the next topic. Let's try to fly through these because we've been going on for a long time. Who are the top head coaching candidates for the top head coaching jobs in the NFL this offseason? Ken, let's go to you.
We're gonna, of course, the first one's gonna be Ben Johnson. Everybody's gonna want Ben Johnson, but who's Ben Johnson gonna want at this point? And then Clint Kubiak. What he's done with the Saints, even with them like having basically everybody injured. The whole offensive line's gone. All the receivers are gone. Quarterbacks have been in and out. And how that offense has still looked good and what they've done to teams, I think that he's got to be a top candidate somewhere. And his philosophy carrying on that Kubiak system. I think those are the top two, really.
Nobody else?
Yeah, I mean, you might see some people try to go for like college coaches. Like, I think Lincoln Riley. I could see somebody trying to go after Lincoln Riley. Or if a team gets, like if the Raiders or the Giants get Shedeur, I could see one of them trying to go for Prime or something like that. But mostly Ben Johnson and Kubiak is going to be the top two candidates right now.
I think you're missing a name, and I hope Ryan gets it. Ryan, who's on your list?
Is it Mike Vrabel?
Yes, it is Mike Vrabel.
I think Mike Vrabel's looking for real estate in Columbus, Ohio, and Ryan Day gets fired.
I don't buy it, but go ahead.
No, but I do think Vrabel, if he is gonna go to the NFL, stay in the NFL. I should say not go. Well, I mean, he was a college coach once upon a time at Ohio State, but I think if he stays in the NFL, you could look at teams like the Jets and maybe even the Browns, who he's with, making the switch there. Ben Johnson, the obvious one. I'm trying to think of coaches around the league right now that really. I would say Joe Brady in Buffalo. We had a lot of hype coming out of LSU.
How about Tampa's OC, Liam Cohen?
Liam Cohen as well. Yeah. It's going to be, I think a lot of teams are shifting towards offensive coordinator coaches.
Zach Robinson?
Robinson. So Zach Robinson was apparently going to be Oklahoma State's head coach, but like they decided to stay with Mike Gundy again. So I don't know. He might go to the college level.
You guys kind of hit all the nails on the head. I think Vrabel's going to come back, and I think he's going to go to the Bears. And I have a sleeper, Rex Ryan, coming back to the NFL.
Rex
He's
Ryan.
been talking about it at nauseum. The Jets, the guy who's doing their head coaching job search was Rex Ryan's GM. Would you be shocked at all if the Jets brought back Rex Ryan? I would not.
That feels like
Listen,
a John Gruden, another John Gruden type.
if Rex Ryan is the New York Jets head coach again, I will fucking piss my pants in laughter.
I think it's going to happen.
That would be both stunning and also just genuinely hilarious, knowing how
Aaron Rodgers is definitely
incompetent.
gone at that point.
Oh, I think Aaron Rodgers is gone no matter what.
Oh my
I do.
god! You
Next
know what?
question.
I'm cheering for that outcome. Give me
Thank
Rex
you.
Ryan on the Jets.
You're welcome. What do the Falcons do with their Kirk Cousins problem? What do they do, and what should they do? Ryan.
Well, you're unfortunately foobarred with him, man. Like, holy shit! Can they even escape it? Like, do we have the salary cap implications with it? I think you have to seriously look at putting Penix in, dude. Kirk, after tearing his Achilles, just looked cooked. Like there were someone I forgot who said it, but someone on Twitter said
There's a potential out after 2026.
okay, so you might just have to live with him being a whatever $50 million backup or some shit. Or what is he getting, like 45 or something? Someone said on Twitter that he literally, when they run the ball, they have like certain ways to do it because Kirk cannot push off on the leg he tore his Achilles on.
He can't backpedal.
Yeah. If you can't do that, like if you can't even like hand the ball off properly without putting pressure on your leg like that, it's over.
I think in the last four games, I think he has 0 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
If he keeps on playing like this, you have to put Penix in.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are on the verge of a playoff spot. They just lost the division. They can easily get it back. You shut Kirk Cousins down. I don't care that you paid him all that money. I don't care. You got to play to win the game, and Penix right now gives you a better chance. You've lost 4 straight. You've choked the division. Go get it back. Play
Not
Penix.
only that, but you have a bunch of weapons that are like just struggling. Like I know Kyle Pitts is the most frustrating fantasy player ever, but like, dude, he shouldn't be a complete donut shop every week.
And here's the thing.
Football player.
There's no repercussions to benching Kirk Cousins besides money. The fan base isn't going to be mad at you. The players don't really care because he's been there for 1 year.
And also, players want to win, man. If this guy's not presenting the best chance, it was like the Jacoby Brissett versus Drake May thing. Eventually, guys are going to want the talented rookie if the veteran's not doing it.
And Kirk Cousins is no longer doing it. So that's what they should do. Are the Panthers a serious team next year? Ken?
No.
Why?
I still don't think that they're in a similar situation that they're going to be in a similar situation next year that they are now, because they still need offensive line, they need a receiver, they need corner, they need edge, they need everything. And it's not like they have a lot of draft picks, you know. They don't have
I'm on wait and see with them because I really am curious to see what they do with this.
How's that fence feel?
It feels nice. No, they suck as a roster. They have a bunch of glaring holes. I do think they have their quarterback and their coach, though, which a couple months ago, we didn't even think Bryce Young was going to make it out of the season. So I think they got that going for them. I think 2026, unless they just go nuclear this offseason and get a whole bunch of players and did come out firing.
Bonus question, Ken. Who do you feel better about going into 2025, the New England Patriots or the Carolina Panthers?
So for for winning, I think the Panthers, because they're in such a bad division. But I feel like the Patriots are going to be a better team.
I could see that.
I should have asked this in the offseason preview. So backtracking a little bit while we're on the Patriots topic again. There are reports saying that Gerard Mayo could be coaching for his job the last 4 games. How do you feel about Gerard Mayo as a head coach?
Me or Ken?
Ken, I know your take. I want to know Ken's take.
I'm not. I don't really know much about him. To tell you the truth, I don't feel like he's elevated the team as a coach. So that's one thing. You kind of want to elevate her as a team, and like if you can improve upon him, then I'd let him go. You know, you don't want a mid coach.
Yeah, my biggest fear with Gerard Mayo is he's our Antonio Pierce, which that's
Not
bad.
good.
I don't think he's as dumb as Antonio Pierce, though.
No,
I
but
think he has a better command of the locker room because those guys still play for him hard. I think Antonio Pierce's guys, they kind of pick and choose when they want to play hard.
Half the team half their stars have said they want to get traded.
Yeah, you don't have star players on the Patriots, but no, there aren't a ton of guys that are demanding being traded because Gerard Mayo's a dick. You know, I think his players love him and they're playing hard for him. So unless the Patriots get like smoked the last 4 games, 40-3, I think he's going to be here for another year, and he should. Give him a chance to rebound.
It depends on how the games go as well, in the sense of like discipline.
That's what I just said.
No, I'm talking about discipline and shit, man. Like you need to be like if they keep on doing the same old dumb shit every week, it's like okay, at what point is it like this guy just cannot convey the message to these guys that basic fundamentals of football?
Back to the Panthers. Running back Jonathan Brooks, rookie running back Jonathan Brooks, tears his ACL twice in 13 months. Same knee. Ryan, is he done?
Unfortunately, that's very Sony Michelle-esque of him. I feel bad for the kid. So, like, he's only 21. He's already blown out his knee twice. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a really long journey back for him, and I'm really cheering for him.
Like he's probably not going to play till like October next year.
Yeah, no, it's brutal for him. I feel terrible for him. I'm really cheering for the guy. That's the most I can say. I hope he's not done. He's only 21 years old.
Ken, what's the outlook?
So most players only play 4 years in the league. Man's gonna have spent 2 years on in rehab as a running back. Yeah, he's done.
Next question. Back to the Patriots, ironically. Is Bill Belichick coaching in college next year? This thing has gotten warmer and warmer and warmer as the day has gone on, even as far as reports saying that UNC has offered him the job, even reports saying that Bill Belichick has accepted the job. There are just certain requirements, yada, yada, yada. Steve Belichick being coach in waiting, that kind of stuff. Ken, what do you make of Bill Belichick coaching the Tar Heels in 2025? If this is a real thing, what you think about it? Can it work? Is it going to be a dumpster fire? Give me the full show.
I think it's a horrible decision. For North Carolina. How do they expect Bill Belichick to handle the transfer portal? High school 16-year-olds asking for $1 million straight without getting, without actually ever playing for him, compared to he was telling players who won Super Bowls for him that they got to take pay cuts. I don't know. It doesn't even seem like it's gonna work out.
I'd be really curious to hear what North Carolina's like NIL, like because NIL is from exterior sources. I'd be curious to see who they could get to help fund the NIL there.
Like their boosters type?
Yeah, they're boosters. Because, I mean, there is one billionaire that a lot of people do know in the sports world that's a North Carolina alum. What's up?
You talking about Michael Jordan?
I'm talking about Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jordan's busy with a NASCAR lawsuit right now. I don't know if he's got the time.
NASCAR?
I don't think it'll work out for what.
Yeah, he can. He owns a NASCAR team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's co-owners with the driver, and they're in the middle of a lawsuit right now with certain agreements about charters. It's worth reading up on. They're in a heavy legal battle right now. It's going to change the sport in a lot of respects. Do you want to see Bill Belichick coaching in college?
I kind of want to. as a LSU, I don't know. So the insider thing is LSU is battling with North Carolina for a quarterback right now,
Feels like
and
they're losing that quarterback.
yeah, so exactly. So I kind of want them to hire him so he can come to LSU.
Should Belichick be holding out hope for an NFL job?
How many NFL jobs are going to be open that are going to give him the power that he wants?
Jacksonville, one. That's it.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
And even then, they're oddly attached to Trent Baalke for whatever reason. No, I think Bill. There's too much smoke around North Carolina at this point that I think it's.
He even went on Pat McAfee and talked about his plan if he was to be a college coach. Like, this is something that he's genuinely interested in.
Yeah, I think at this point they're just waiting on like the technicalities because, like, they gotta get like Steve Belichick,
Out of Washington.
basically buy out of his contract with Washington and stuff like that. It's just, I think it's coming to fruition. It's just gonna take a couple days.
UNC is playing in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl against UConn on December 28th. For anybody that was wondering. Alabama gets snubbed from the CFB playoffs. Ryan, what's your take?
SMU deserved to be in over Alabama. I'm sorry. This has been a very uninspiring Alabama team, and I'm not very high on Jalen Milroe as a quarterback, so I think Alabama would have been a shit choice. Give it to the, I'll say this right now. Give it to the teams. Like, we talk about like branding and well, we need these big names. How about we create some big names? Like, I'm sorry, Alabama didn't deserve to be in there. Put a team that deserves to be in there. And SMU, they're in a prominent college market. They're in Dallas. Let them make a name for themselves with another Texas team that's worth a shit.
And SMU undercover has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Does it impact you at all that if this continues, like say this same scenario happens again next year, that the SEC could just say, fuck you, NCAA, you need us more than we need you, and they go form their own thing with the Big Ten? Like, does that concern you at all?
No. Because
losers, they did that.
And the SEC and Big Ten still have have like half the teams in the playoffs.
I think they're willing to cause a stink about that, though.
I think it's the other way around. I think if SMU didn't get in, the ACC would be the conference to.
Yeah, because everybody's going to follow the ACC. Like, because Miami, Florida State, Clemson, they would all leave for the SEC in a heartbeat, I think.
And they all have a lot of money, and they want their team to be shown.
So the ACC would fold. They'd be the new Pac-12.
Yeah.
So the SEC truly holds all the cards here.
Yeah.
So don't want to piss them off. All right, Ken, what do you think about Alabama getting stumped?
I think SMU deserves to be in. I think Alabama has a conversation because they played teams who are better, but they've lost it. Alabama beat the teams who are better than the teams that SMU played, but they lost to teams that are worse. So it's a debate either way, because they lost to like Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, who are worse than the teams that SMU beat. So yeah,
I feel like this next question is a stupid one after the conversation we had earlier around the draft. But cornerback / wide receiver / Superman, Travis Hunter versus running back Ashton Jonty for Heisman. Is it unanimous that everybody's team Travis Hunter here for Heisman?
I would take Jonty.
Oh.
Ken? I love both Travis Hunter and Ashton Jonty, though. So I think Jonty, without Ashton Jonty, I think we're looking at like Boise State as not even like they're just a who cares Mountain West team. And so this is a team in the playoffs because of Ashton Jonty.
If you trade them, Travis Hunter goes to Boise, Ashton Jonty goes to Colorado. Is this even a conversation?
More impact in Colorado.
Is this even a conversation?
No, I think Ashton Jonty would get more love, if anything, in that spot.
So my problem is, I don't know if Ashton Jonty went to the Big 12, would he be doing what he's doing now?
Well, dude, he
He
literally
fucking better be.
massacred
He's going to be
Oregon.
the first overall pick in the rookie draft next year.
Jonte massacred
I mean,
Oregon. They're the best team in college football. I think
but
this is just
they're not the best defense though.
no, but like think about it. This dude faces 8-man boxes every fucking week, man.
He's also playing against pizza delivery guys.
Yeah, let's be real here. The Big 12's kind of at a point of like pizza delivery guy status too.
I mean, they've gotten better defenses than the Big
They
12 though.
do, but
Arizona
like, come
State.
on, we know the
If
Big
would he
12.
be doing that against? I don't know if he'd be doing that against like BYU or Iowa State.
Arizona
But
State.
we saw like Cam Scatterbo. You see what he just did for Arizona State.
Like,
No, I would genuinely hear a case that he's the best running back in college football.
So
Just on talent.
I feel like I gotta make an argument. I don't think it should be unanimous, Ashton Genty,
No,
but I don't
it's an
Ashton
argument.
Genty.
It's an argument.
Yeah.
It's a healthy
Yeah.
debate.
No, I'm fine with either winning the Heisman. It's just I really want to see Jonte win it. I think Jonte winning it would be super cool for college football.
And it wouldn't be unprecedented for somebody like who's putting up his stats not to make it, because we've seen like Melvin Gordon not get it, Ezekiel Elliott, all these other running backs who are just basically the same caliber as him,
Yeah. Yeah. I also think Zeke really should have probably won one in his career at Ohio State, man. Just thinking about it right now. Yeah, no, either way, it's a well-deserved Heisman, in my opinion.
Ken, what's your take?
Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. So you think Ashton Jonte should win the Heisman too?
Yeah, if I had a vote, I'd pick him.
Oh, okay.
Because what he's done for his team,
Right.
I think Hunter's a better player, but Genty's been performed more.
All right, and Ken, I'm sticking with you for our final question before we get to picks and close it out. Give me your overall thoughts about the college football playoffs. If you have a prediction, if you have some interesting matchups you're looking at, I mean, just go nuts for the next minute.
I mean, I'm gonna predict. I kind of want to pick Texas to win the championship. But yeah, but I like the playoffs altogether. I like to be done. Make more games more important. Make more players play, especially for scouting purposes. we get more. Yeah, we get more games to see some of these guys. Yeah, like right now, we probably not get to see any more Quinn Ewers or all these guys.
Quinn Ewers sucks. So
I mean, we might see him go off against some of these against like
Quinn Ewers is just he reeks of Mac Jones to me. He does. He reeks of Mac Jones. Noodle arm, not particularly a fantastic athlete. Just he's up.
I think he's a better athlete than Mac Jones, but
it's a low bar. But I mean, just he doesn't have a great arm. He's not particularly amazing at anything. He's just there. He's okay.
Yeah, that's why he's a second-round quarterback, just like Mac Jones is for me. But that's not.
Yeah, and in hindsight, Mac Jones might have been a third or fourth round pick. He's like Davis Mills.
Yeah,
him and Davis Mills are the same guy.
You're getting lower and lower on it.
Seriously, yeah. Ryan, what's your general thoughts about the college football playoffs? Any predictions, anything like that? You got a minute.
I think Oregon's going to win it all this year. This is their year. I think they have a stronger team than they used to have, like during the Mariota, Chip Kelly days. Mariota, or basically the Chip Kelly days, I should say, like in Mariota and them. Sorry,
New Hampshire's finest, Chip Kelly, by the way.
What's up?
New Hampshire's finest, Chip Kelly.
Yeah. 2 New Hampshire scumbags sandbagging the Ohio State offense. Yeah, no, I got Oregon winning it all. I have them pretty handedly beating Ohio. Not pretty handedly, but like they're gonna beat Ohio State in the second round. And then after that, I don't like Texas that much because of their quarterback situation. I'm trying to think of the other Georgia's quarterback. A lot of teams just have bad quarterback situations, and I
hear
How
Carson
you
Beck
feel
is like
about Drew? How you feel about Drew Aller then?
I think someone's. It wouldn't shock me if the Giants drafted him really highly because he's big arm, throw far.
he could be the next Zach Wilson as far as like random post combine skyrocket.
Or he could be like Josh Allen. That's the thing. Teams are gonna evaluate him like they did Josh Allen and think we could fix him.
He's also going to be mad young.
Yeah, he's only gonna be a 21-year-old rookie. I mean, I think a player of his skill set is too inconsistent for a playoff type environment. But as a pro, it wouldn't shock me if he's a better pro than college quarterback. I like what's his name, Warren, their tight end. He rocks,
Yeah,
and Vince Carter rocks too. But no, Penn State, no, not this year.
All right, fellas. Go Arizona State. That's my only take. Ready for some. I like college football when it's good teams versus good teams. I can't stand it in the regular season when every game is done by the third quarter. Drives me insane. I cannot sit there and watch that crap. So I'm glad that these games matter. I'm glad that these teams are going to play hard. I watched the championship games. Most of those were fun. Arizona State kind of kicked the crap out of Iowa State, which was fun to watch in its own right. But overall, I'm glad that we're seeing good teams versus good teams. This is the best of the best. And we'll go from there. All right, let's go to picks. Ken, if you're not familiar with how we do things on this show, we pick straight and then we go against the spread. Last week, Ryan did not make any picks. And LCO picked his against the spread. I haven't counted the spread since week 9, so we'll get to that at the end of the year. But we're gonna go ahead, get right to it. First game, Thursday Night Football. The Rams headed to San Francisco to take on the Niners. The Niners are 2.5-point favorites. I'll kick it off. I'm taking the Rams. Sorry, I still don't believe in the Niners at all. I think they're done. Ryan, let's go to you.
I'm gonna take the Rams as well.
I'm taking the Rams too.
All right, boom, wonderful. KC headed to Cleveland to take on the Browns. KC is 4-point favorites. Ken,
Chiefs definitely Magic.
you gonna take a -4?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan,
I really want to go with the fun pick and say Cleveland just because of how random the Jameis Winston era has been. But no, it will be the Chiefs.
Chiefs by 4?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Cleveland. I think they can make it a field goal game because the Chiefs only play field goal games, but KC wins. Cincinnati headed to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Those Bengals are 5-point favorites. I'll take Cincinnati both ways. This is an awful Titans team. Just awful, 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 awful. Ryan, what do you think?
Bengals. Yeah, no, the Titans are just abysmal.
Ken?
I'm taking the Bengals.
Washington at New Orleans. New Orleans probably going to be starting Jake Haener because Derek Carr decided to kill himself at the end of the Saints-Giants game. Washington is 7.5-point favorites. Ken?
Commanders money line, but I think the Saints cover.
All right. Ryan, what do you think?
I got the Commanders both ways.
As do I. Baltimore at the Giants. Ryan, what do you think this spread is?
14.5.
Close. Baltimore -15.
Oh, man.
I'll take Baltimore both ways. This Giants team's in a bad spot. Ken?
Yeah, I'm taking it too. Taking both for Ravens.
I'm gonna take both ways as well. I was considering maybe Giants.
I also don't think Giants score 2 touchdowns.
No, unless Tyrone Tracy just says "fuck it," I'm putting the team on my back. Outside of that, no, there's no playmakers on the Giants offense. Well, and neighbors as well. I'm sorry, but like, you actually got to throw them the football, which they won't do.
Carolina plays host to Dallas. Carolina is 2.5-point favorites. I think Carolina is getting another win, or getting a win because they played tough. Haven't exactly been able to close the deal. I think they get it done here.
They're moral victories. Carolina.
No such thing as moral victories.
Wait, who's home?
Carolina against Dallas. Carolina's playing host.
Oh, Carolina.
Okay.
With the points.
The Jets headed to Maxonville to take on the Jaguars. The Jets are 3-point favorites. Obviously, Jets coming off a loss against the Dolphins. They're staying in Florida. Mac Jones getting the win against the Titans in Nashville last week. The Jets are 3-point favorites. Ken, where are you going?
Going Jags.
As am I, actually. Ooh. Ryan, what do you think?
I am the contrarian here. If you're in a fantasy league and you need a defensive streamer, pick up whatever team's playing Mac Jones. I'm sorry, this guy's a bomb. Give me the Jets.
I think the Jets are packing it up. I think the Jaguars are playing feisty. They might suck, but they're playing feisty.
It's the dog shit off. Let's just call it what it is.
Miami headed to Houston to take on the Texans. Houston is 3-point favorites. Ryan.
I'm gonna take Miami. I think they're kind of surging a little too late, but they're surging.
Ken?
I'm picking the Dolphins also. Texans are on the down. Dolphins are on the up.
I will take Houston, but I think it's within a field goal, so I'll take Miami.
Listen, as long as the temperature stays about 40 degrees.
Indy playing host to Denver. This could have major playoff implications. Denver are 4-point favorites. I'm going to rock with that. I think Denver wins.
I'm with you on that. I got Denver.
Ken?
Same, Denver.
I still think Anthony Richardson sucks. Am I a hater for that?
Oh, now Trent can't watch the podcast now.
He knows I think he sucks. Listen, man, he did that Fortnite L dance on us, and I still said, yeah, that dude's a bum.
Hey, Ken, let's instigate a little in the chat tonight.
Blows. Sucks. Bad. Buffalo, game of the week. Buffalo headed to Detroit, take on the Lions, Super Bowl preview. Lions winners of 10 straight. Buffalo trying to get right. The Lions are 2.5-point favorites, Ken.
Lions with the points. Yeah. I think they win by 10.
Ryan?
I got Buffalo winning, and it's because Detroit's defense is really banged up.
I agree. Go Buffalo. Pittsburgh headed to Philly to take on the Eagles. The Eagles are 5-point favorites, Ryan.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. They got the luck of the devil.
I'm taking Philly to win. I think Pittsburgh covers.
No, I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Okay. Gonna save the New England game for last. Tampa headed to LA to take on the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites, Ken.
Chargers.
Ryan? Chargers. I agree. By 3? Yeah, me too. Green Bay at Seattle on Sunday Night Football. This could be interesting. Green Bay are 2.5-point favorites. I'll take Seattle, actually. I think they play safer football. I think they'll take advantage of Jordan Love's costly errors, and this is where Green Bay starts to kind of fall in their place behind Detroit and Minnesota.
I got Green Bay.
Seattle's home.
Ooh.
Ryan's taking Green Bay.
I'm taking Green Bay.
I'm taking Seattle.
I always love it when the football guy is behind me on picks like this. The Bears headed to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are 6.5-point favorites, Ken.
Vikings. They're going to torture that man, Caleb.
Vikings.
I am also taking the Vikings, but I'll take the hook. These games are going to be close. I think the Bears are going to have to play a close game at some point. I think it'll be here, but Minnesota gets the win. And for Monday Night Football, Ryan, make sure you give me the score for this one. Atlanta headed to Vegas, take on the Raiders. The Falcons need a win. They're 4-point favorites against the Raiders. They're going to probably be playing Desmond Ridder after Aiden O'Connell banged up his knee. Ryan, where are you going?
Falcons 17-10.
Okay. Ken?
Falcons 24-10.
Honestly, no, I can't do it. They're not playing a real quarterback. Atlanta, both ways. Give me
Both quarterbacks throw 2 interceptions.
Give me 28-10. So 38.
Give me Bijan Robinson masterclass.
And finally, Ken, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think the spread is for Patriots Cardinals?
I think Cardinals will be favored by like 4 points.
Nice. Cardinals 4.5. Ken, I'll just stick with you. Where are you going with this?
Big Patriots. Cardinals look like they're going to get worse every week.
Wow, look at that. The Patriots. Ken, football guy, you've heard it here. Ken, football guy, has the Patriots beaten the Cardinals. What's your score?
I think it's like 14-10.
Nice.
I have the Patriots 1-2.
Score?
I'm going to say 21 points scored by the Patriots. Luckily this time, because to put up points. I am going to have the Cardinals at 14. It's a generic score, but both these teams are pretty generic, and both of them are kind of ass.
I'm not going to ruin the vibes. Patriots win. I think Drake May could have a big day. I honestly do. Just gotta have somebody catch the ball for him. With that in mind, give me the Patriots 27-24. All right. Picks are in. That's your show. Ken, once again, thank you so much for coming on, spending an hour, almost 2 hours with us now.
Holy shit.
You killed it again. Looking forward to having you back. Any parting words for the people?
Being back.
All right, those are your parting words. Ryan, once again, thanks for coming on. We'll see you again next week. Any parting words for the people?
Yeah, let's fucking go Patriots, baby.
Yeah, get in that win column. Build the culture. Get out of the tank. I agree. Patriots going to Arizona, take on the Cardinals. The kickoff is at 4:05, I do believe. So get used to that. Enjoy your 1 o'clock window and be ready. Be ready for Sunday. We're going to get this win, guys. Let's go. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow the page on Facebook and Instagram. We'll say it again in the outro. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 2 hours. Go Pats.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Foxboro BeatCast. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.